All right, guys, we're talking about diamond investments. What are they? Are diamonds even investments? Are they just shiny rocks that you put on things to make a promise? What exactly is it? Do they hold their value? Get ready, because we're talking that today.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
All right, so are diamonds investments? The short answer is no, and the long answer is yes. So I say the short answer is no because when you walk into your local jewelry store, whether it's family owned, corporate, whatever it may be, the diamonds that you're seeing there 99% of the time are not considered investments. And I want to clarify this because the last thing I want is for you guys to go into a jewelry store, buy a 1 carat diamond for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 and think, you know what? This diamond in 20 years is gonna be worth 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand, whatever it may be. Because guess what? It's not gonna happen unless inflation does something crazy. So the reason I say that diamonds aren't investments, at least the ones that you're seeing at your local jewelry store, is pretty much for the following reasons. So something to keep in mind when you're buying a diamond is that this is a process that diamond has gone through in order to get into that showcase and then ultimately end up on your hand or your fiance's hand or in your chain. This is what I want you to think about. So for that diamond that you have, the following things need to happen first. So that diamond rough, the original material that the diamond eventually gets cut into, is called diamond rough. So that's mined from the ground. So once it's collected, after it's mined, it's sent off to auction. And so major diamond holding companies, kind of like De Beers that I'm sure you guys have heard of, they go and they place bids on these lots of diamond rough. So once these companies like De Beers win the lot and they have their diamond rough, they go ahead and export them, ship them off, usually either to Israel or to Antwerp or to India. And just depending on the labor costs, the original size of the rough and what they're wanting to do to it, it goes to a different location. So once these diamonds arrive to the diamond cutters and polishers, they're cut and they're shaped into the beautiful thing that you see here, this beautiful diamond. It's made it into this from a very just rough kind of crystalline structure and kind of like gray, opaque looking thing. So once it's cut and polished, then it's sold off to wholesalers. And what these wholesalers do is they either sell it to a jewelry manufacturing company or they sell it to a diamond broker. Then these jewelry manufacturing companies or brokers will end up selling it to jewelry stores that either want diamonds like this to set in something the jewelry store is making or into jewelry that is already set and has the diamonds in there. Then the jewelry store obviously buys it, puts it in their showcase and sells it to you. And so by the time that the ring or the diamond ends up in your hands, you have to think it's gone through this entire process. And so at every level, every step of this process, somebody is making money along the way. So obviously from the price that it was mined at all the way down to you, the consumer, the profit margin and the markup has gone probably 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times even from that original price. So there's no way that as a consumer, we're taking a piece of jewelry that has diamonds or a single diamond that was retailed to us and then reconciliating 2 or 3 steps back to sell it back to a wholesaler, a broker, or a jeweler and make money on it. The other clarification I want to make is with lab-grown diamonds. In no way, shape, or form, doesn't matter if it's a blue lab-grown diamond, a red lab-grown diamond, whatever it is, are lab-grown diamonds considered investments. One, because again, you have to think that although they're not being mined, they are being grown in a lab, but it's diamond rough that also has to be cut, it also has to be polished, it has to be sold to a broker, a wholesaler, a jeweler, and then eventually you. And so you're going through almost the same process as a natural diamond. And on top of that, because there's potentially an infinite amount of lab-grown diamonds, since all you have to do is continue to grow more, prices continue to go down over time. All right, so that leaves the original question. So what diamonds are considered investments? Because up until this point, all we've talked about is that diamonds aren't investments. But there is an asterisk because there are diamonds that are considered investments. So diamonds that are considered investments are either deals or diamonds that are not typical and that are very rare and far between. I'll give you guys a great example. So a great customer of mine, she wanted an emerald cut diamond that was just gonna be difficult to find. She wanted something 7 carats with about a 15 millimeter spread, a very beautiful stone, with a GIA report. She wanted something that truly was gonna look as perfect as possible. And so I spent the next 6 to 8 months looking literally all over the world for a diamond like this. And at a time, there were maybe 2 or 3 of them available, and it was difficult to make the deal, to find the right price. Ultimately, we found a very, very beautiful VS1 7 carat diamond. But again, there's only about 3 or 4 of those for sale at a time. And because there's only 3 or 4 of those for sale at a time, she can literally just hold on to that diamond. And if she's ever wanting to or ready to sell it, then guess what? She can almost dictate her price, because if you're looking for that diamond, whether you're a jeweler, consumer, wholesaler, broker, whatever it is, there's not enough out there. The rarity is what increases the price. So let's say she got that diamond for $130,000. Guess what? If she wants to ask $250 and there's nothing else available on the market internationally in the entire world for it, and you want that diamond, that's what you have to pay. It's kind of like Rolexes, right? Like Rolexes, you know, they retail for $10,000, $15,000, and you have people paying $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. And why? Because the limited availability. And so in order to get to that point with diamonds, you definitely have to spend more, and it has to be much larger or rarer diamonds. So apart from larger, just nicer diamonds that are difficult to find, the other diamonds that are considered investments are colored diamonds. Now, I want to make a clear distinction, because there are 2 types of colored diamonds. There are naturally colored diamonds where the origin is natural of that color, and then there are diamonds that have artificial or enhanced color, where through chemical processes, man-made chemical processes, the diamond's color has been augmented or manipulated to be a specific color. The ones that have been manipulated, those aren't worth anything, because, at least as an investment, because you can literally change the color, you can reverse the color, you can manipulate the color as often as you want, and it doesn't take any kind of rarity to get to that point. But now, naturally colored diamonds, that is a thing of beauty and a thing of rarity. So I know a lot of you probably think naturally colored diamonds, oh, you know, canary diamonds, or you think Pink Panther, the pink diamond, and that's exactly it. So the most common are obviously yellow canary diamonds, but then we also have blue, green, red. And so I want to explain a little bit of how exactly we get those diamonds. So yellow, green, and blue diamonds are exposed to different levels of nitrogen, boron, and sulfur while being formed in the Earth's crust that change naturally the color of that diamond. Pink diamonds are pretty interesting, because pink diamonds aren't exposed to a specific chemical or a specific element that changes the color. It's literally the environment around it. And what I mean by that is kind of like HPHT diamonds, which we talked about in the previous video, is one of the way that lab-grown diamonds are made. So pink diamonds, when they're formed in the Earth's crust, what changes their color is high pressure and high temperature. So when these pink diamonds are exposed to high pressure and high temperature, what it does is it actually changes the crystalline structure of the carbon and turns it into pink. So the pink diamonds that we think about, that we see on Pink Panther or at auction houses, typically originate from the Argyle mines. And so the Argyle mines actually closed in 2020 just due to depletion of resources. There's literally no more pink diamonds. There's no more diamond rough in the Argyle mines. So what this has caused is that over time, especially since 2020 when the Argyle mine closed initially, the prices for pink diamonds have skyrocketed. So I want to put into perspective just how rare a pink diamond is. So in the Argyle mines, for every 1,000,000 carats of diamond rough that was mined, you would only get 1 carat of usable gem diamond. All right, let's talk about the big kahuna of investment diamonds, and that is the red diamond. So red diamonds, of all the colors of different diamonds, is by far the rarest. It's so rare that Almost all the red diamonds that are out there are typically under a carat. It's hard to find anything over a carat. And typically red diamonds are going for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars per carat, where let's say your typical average just run-of-the-mill diamond is usually trading for maybe 3,000 a carat, 4,000 a carat. These are trading up to $1 million a carat. What I love about red diamonds is that geologists and gemologists are still struggling to debate over the color origin in red diamonds. They truly believe that it's somewhat close to how pink diamonds are formed with high pressure and high temperature, but maybe at a lesser extent. They just can't pinpoint exactly what that extent is. I want to put it into perspective for you. So I've got this beautiful 5.5 carat diamond here. This 5.5 carat natural diamond retails for a little bit over 100,000. Now the largest red diamond ever found was actually 5.5 carats, just like this. And it is valued at 20 million. So just put that into perspective. Something like this, which is nice, not your everyday run-of-the-mill diamond, but it's still accessible, is a little bit over 100,000, while the same exact equivalent, but in red, is $20 million. So in summary, are diamonds considered investments? Yes, but only the rarest and most beautiful. So next time you go and buy a diamond, don't worry about whether it's a good investment or not, unless you're ready to fork over some serious moolah. Just worry about whether you're getting a good deal and you're going to enjoy it. Till next time, A Jeweler's Life out.